Evening all, welcome to Fitting Desk. Today we are taking a look at the mass driver, that lovely sweet, I'm actually quite hungry now, but anyway, we're looking at the mass driver, and I guess it's because it's kind of becoming fit of the month. It's a very powerful gun, always has been. Obviously the issues that with the gun effectively were actually around its area of effect hit detection, so I'm being told, which is sad really, because again I think you need a gun like the mass driver effectively, which is a grenade launcher, and the damage it does is certainly a lot better than it was. We're also going to talk in this round around maybe some of the behaviour of some of the players in this game. It's quite interesting how some players, mentioning no names, basically are playing the game and they're doing it pretty much for their KD ratio, which is pretty funny in itself. And when they realise that their round is not going their way, their win-loss ratio, I mean, when the round is obviously not going their way, they basically drop out and try and join, other games. This is sadly something that I'm seeing a lot of now. It's real elite PvP. If you have done this, stop doing it, because seriously, you are literally Hitler if you do this. It's not what this whole ethos is around. I mean, Eve, we spent a long time ridding Eve of that kind of people, and to be honest, trust me, you're a minority, and you're a hated minority, and to be honest, you're an uncool minority as well that goes with it, because eventually somebody's going to come for you. If you do this, you'll get yourself a reputation, and then basically people will just always remember you as the shittest player ever. And this is happening quite a lot, and it's only particular corps that seem to be doing it. Now, again, we in the Unholy Legion have a particular mantra of you play and you just enjoy yourself. If you get owned, well, sucks to be you. Because in every player's life, there is always going to be a period where they get, quote, owned. So don't get upset about it. But what's interesting is watching certainly how some players, once they start to, quote, die, they actually start to, they just leave the match, and they deliberately kind of engineer results. So if you've ever wondered how some corps have got such a good win-loss ratio, or how some players have got such a high KD ratio, it's because they never actually have any attempt at a proper game. They will play the game, and if they can't dominate it, they just leave and they'll join another game. And this is happening pretty much. I mean, we played quite exclusively all night, and it was pretty much all night players, again mentioning no names, were just leaving the game continually, and it's kind of a shame, but what can you do? Anyway, so let's talk about the weaponry. Now again, I know I've kind of labelled this a mass driver footage, but I think I did start off with the forge gun. As you notice, I'm using the forge gun a lot more aggressively as well. It is a fantastic weapon for anti-personnel now as well. As you can see, it's just devastatingly powerful. Anyway, let's go and... Oh, crikey, that was close. Yeah, not good. But let's, I think, refit. That guy's probably going to wipe me out, so let's actually take the benefit of refitting. So there we go. It's interesting, because I think the mass driver is one of these guns that you probably do need to skill up quite a lot. You can't just maybe get level 3 and expect to be good at it. That's all I've got, and I'm pretty terrible at it. But it's like anything in this game. You just get used to it, and you become good with it. This is why I kind of get surprised that people are so negative about the flaylock, because people don't say assault rifles are overpowered, yet there are people who just run continually the assault rifle, and they're brilliant at it, yet nobody ever says to them try a different gun. I don't really know why, to be honest, but I think it's funny. I think there's a lot of hate out there for particular guns. I think the mass driver is about to become one of them. So we go, shoot. As you can see, pretty terrible with it. I've actually got the Aurum Freedom mass driver, so it shouldn't be totally awful, but yeah, not great. But again, I'm an absolute noob. I used these maybe 6 months ago, and I've never used them since. And it's not my thing. But Eddie, as you can see, Eddie and White have become very good with them. So I think it does take experience to actually get used to the gun per se. I think also the way this gun operates is very similar to the Flaylock, in fact, but it's just got, I guess, a lower rate of fire, naturally, more rounds, but it dips more, and it's got quite a suitable area of effect as well. So this is kind of the play that you should be doing with it, but again, I'm certainly no expert with it. Well, I say White and Eddie are very good with it, and I think again, it's like anything really. If you put your time into it, you'll become good with it. I mean, I still see dudes with the laser rifle doing very well. I'm actually really pleased to see lots of dudes with forge guns. I think people have kind of migrated from the heavy machine gun into the forge gun. Probably getting half the kills, but again, probably is just as satisfying. And I think that's a shame because, again, I think the HMG should be a much more widely used gun than perhaps it is at the moment. I don't know. I mean, it just feels a bit gimp, to be honest. I wouldn't say the mass driver's OP. I think it certainly seems to wallop quite nicely. But again, I think you've got to be careful of the splash damage. And considering I run scout suit rather. It's always a risk to run, any explosive weapon with scout suit. Flaylock is also pretty risky. Again, I don't show it that often, but you probably watch my videos carefully. You'll see that I do die every so often from a misplaced flaylock round. Things like the laser rifle as well just are not meant for scout suits. A shame really because I used to think that combo worked quite well, but I used to run the laser rifle and scout suit quite successfully, but now the overheat damage is so much that the Visium will actually kill me with one shot, even with full armor, full health. One overheat from the Visium wipes my suit out, which is a shame really. It's probably the fitting. I could probably tank it a bit more than I have, but hey, what are you going to do? So I think, the mass driver is one of these guns I'd probably say is worth a look. The XO5 is probably where to begin. Don't bother with any of the lower ones than that. If you're feeling kind of, daring, try it on maybe, I don't know, some form of assault suit, maybe a shield assault suit. That's a good combo. That way you've got a bit of natural resistance to the explosion damage should you get caught within it. Just bear in mind that if you lose a shield, you need to be a bit more careful when you fire it. But the Aurum version of this one, the Avalanche Freedom, it's alright. I only bought a few of them, so I wasn't too gutted. But it's not my thing, but I'm certainly going to try and get better with it. It's a bit like the Scrambler Rifle. I think I kind of acknowledge it, and to me it does make a lot of sense. It seems a very good weapon, but it's probably just not my thing. And it's like assault rifles. I think I'm going to try and get back into them a bit more. I think pretty much I could run assault rifle continually and nobody would ever complain at me for doing it, whereas if I run Flaylock like I run it, people say it's OP and all this lovely drama happens, and I don't know, it just gets a bit grating after a while. You think to yourself, well, you could be good with the laser rifle if I start using it and killing 20 in a row. Does that mean it's OP? Well, who knows? It's a funny one, and I think it won't be long before the mass driver, I think, gets absolutely labelled as OP, which I think is wrong because they probably just fixed it. I think if you're a good shot with something, if you're a good aim, and again, think about the Flaylock and this, you have to be a pretty accurate aimer, not brilliant, but you need to at least get some semblance of aiming out there. But if you do, then you actually do quite well out of that. So yeah, I mean, it's a funny one. I think it's worth a look. You get it to level 3, try out the EXO, and if you think you can work with it, then it's a good gun. It's a pretty decent, interesting, different gun as well. I would say, as it does have a feel that's pretty awesome. Anyway, what a match that was. A funny one, really. And I think, sometimes you do get these matches where you just absolutely demolish the enemy team, but then, karma is always restored and given back to you as well. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.